my awesome students. Today we are going to change it up. So instead of just reading the book with each other, we are going to listen to it and read it. This is because some of us learn differently. Some of us like more pictures and some of us like to listen more than we like to read. So we're going to try to switch it up today. And so what we're going to do is you're going to listen to me read the text, and I'll provide the text on the screen, and then you're going to answer the questions within the video. And if you have any questions, raise your hand and I will come help you. So to begin, we are going to review. So when we review, it helps if we have our notes. So if you don't have your notes out, I need you to get your notes out. So starting with what we've read so far, in the beginning of the chapter, Pony comes home and tells the greasers that Johnny is dead. He also tells them that Dally went crazy. But my question for you is, who was shot by the cops? To review, let's go through and let's look at our notes. Who was shot by the cops? Okay, so if you have your notes filled in like I do, you would know that Dally died and Dally was shot by the cops. So Dally pulled out a gun and the cops shot him, and Dally died a hoodlum and Johnny died a hero. So that is where we are at so far. So lucky for you, it is time to read, but you do not have to get out your books today. You just have to follow along with me. Okay, so we are starting. When I woke up, it was light. It was awfully quiet, too quiet. I mean, our house just isn't naturally quiet. The radio is usually going full blast, and the TV is turned up loud, and people are wrestling and knocking over lamps and tripping over the coffee table and yelling at each other. Something was wrong, but I couldn't quite figure it out. Something had happened. I couldn't remember what. I blinked at Soda bewilderedly. He was sitting on the edge of the bed, watching me. Soda, my voice sounded weak and hoarse. Is someone sick? Yeah, his voice got oddly gentle. Go back to sleep now. An idea was slowly dawning on me. Am I sick? He stroked my hair. Yeah, you're sick. Now be quiet. So if we also remember at the end of the last chapter, Johnny passes out. So this is key to knowing what's going on. So he is now just waking up from passing out. I have one more question. I was still kind of mixed up. Is Derry sorry I'm sick? I had a funny feeling that Derry was sad because I was sick. Everything seemed vague. So we talked before about this word. What does vague mean? Can you remind me what vague means? So if you look to the right, there's going to be a question and you can answer it. You can click the answer. And I'll reread this again. Everything seemed vague and hazy. Soda gave me a funny look. He was quiet for a moment. Yeah, he's sorry you're sick. Now please shut up. Will ya, honey? Go back to sleep. I closed my eyes. I was awful tired. When I woke up next, it was daylight, and I was hot under all the blankets on me. I was thirsty and hungry, but my stomach was so uneasy I knew I wouldn't be able to hold anything down. Derry had pulled up the armchair into the bedroom and was asleep in it. He should be at work, I thought. Why is he asleep in the armchair? Hey, Derry, I said softly, shaking his knee. Hey, Derry, wake up! He opened his eyes. Pony boy, you okay? Yeah, I said so. I think so. Something had happened, but I still couldn't remember it. Although I was thinking a lot clearer than I was the last time I had waked up. He sighed in relief and pushed my hair back. Gosh, kid, you had us scared to death. What was the matter with me? He shook his head. I told you you were in no condition for a rumble. Exhaustion, I'm going to highlight that. Shock, minor concussion, and Tubik came blubbering over here with some tale about how you were running a fever before the rumble and how it was all his fault you were sick. He was pretty torn up that night, Derry said. He was quiet for a minute. We all were. So I highlight important things that you might want to remember. So if you look at what I highlighted, you might want to remember that the reason why Pony passed out was because of exhaustion, basically too tired, shock, and a minor concussion. Do you guys remember what a concussion is? It's when you lose consciousness or you're kind of knocked out, and it usually goes with losing your memory, and exhaustion is paired with it. Continuing on, and then I remembered Dallas and Johnny were dead. Don't think of them, I thought. Don't remember how Johnny was your buddy. Don't remember that he didn't want to die. Don't think of Dally breaking up in the hospital, crumbling under the streetlight. Try to think that Johnny is better off now. Try to remember that Dally wouldn't have ended up like that soon. That Dally would have ended up like that sooner or later. Best of all, don't think. Blank your mind. Don't remember. Don't remember. Why do you think to yourself, why do you think Pony would not want to remember what's going on? If we look back, we know that Pony lost 2 friends in a very short amount of time. Why would you think someone would want to forget that? Okay, moving on. Where did I get a concussion? I said. My head itched, but I couldn't scratch it for the bandage. How long have I been asleep? You got a concussion from being kicked in the head. Soda saw it. He landed all over that sock. I never seen him so mad. I think he could have whipped anyone in the state he was in. Today's Tuesday, and you've been asleep and delirious. It's another word we've gone over, delirious. Since Saturday night. Don't you remember? No, I said slowly. Derry, I'm not ever going to be able to make up the school I missed. And I've still got to go to court and talk to the police about Bob's getting killed. And now with Dally, I took a deep breath. Derry, do you think they'll split us up? Do you put me in a home or something? He was silent. I don't know, baby. I just don't know. I stared at the ceiling. What would it be like, I wondered, staring at a different ceiling? What would it be like in a different bed, in a different room? There was a hard, painful lump in my throat that I couldn't swallow. Don't you ever remember being in the hospital? Derry asked. He was trying to change the subject. I shook my head. I don't remember. It's another important thing to remember. You kept asking for me and soda, sometimes for Mom and Dad too, but mostly soda. So who was Johnny asking for in the hospital? He was asking for his brothers and even his mom and dad, but we know that his mom and dad are dead, so he was kind of in that delirious state, in that crazy state where he couldn't think. Something in his tone of voice made me look at him, mostly for soda. Did I ask for Derry at all, or was he just saying that? Derry, I didn't know quite what I wanted to say. I had a sick feeling that maybe I hadn't called for him while I was delirious. Maybe I had only wanted Soda Pop to be with me. What all had I said while I was sick? I couldn't remember. I didn't want to remember. Johnny left you his copy of Gone with the Wind. Told the nurse he wanted you to have it. And there below, if you see, there's a picture of the book Gone with the Wind. I looked at the paperback lying on the table. I didn't want to finish it. I never get past the part where the Southern gentlemen go riding into sure death because they are gallant. Southern gentlemen with big black eyes and blue jeans and t-shirts. Southern gentlemen crumpling under streetlights. Don't remember. Don't try to decide which one died gallant. Don't remember. Where's Soda? I asked. And then I could have kicked myself. Why can't you talk to Derry, you idiot? I said to myself. Why do you feel uncomfortable talking to Derry? Asleep, I hope. I thought he was just going to go to sleep shaving this. I thought he was going to go to sleep shaving this morning and cut his throat. I had to push him to bed, but he was out like a light in a second. Derry hopes that Soda was asleep. Derry's hopes that Soda was asleep were immediately ruined because he came running in, clad only in a pair of blue jeans. And we also went over this word earlier, and this means clothes. So he was only wearing a pair of blue jeans. Hey, pony boy, he yelled and leaped for me, but Derry caught him. No rough stuff, little buddy. So Soda had to content himself with bouncing up and down on the bed and pounding on my shoulder. Gosh, but you were sick? You feel okay now? I'm okay, just a little hungry. I should think you would be, Derry said. You wouldn't eat anything most of the time you were sick. How would you like some mushroom soup? I suddenly realized just how empty I was. Man, I'd like that fine. I'll go make some, Soda Pop. Take it easy with him, okay? Soda looked back at him indignantly. You'd think I was going to challenge him to a track meet or something right off the bat. Oh no, I groaned. Track meet? I guess this about puts me out of every race. I won't be back in condition for meets, and the coach was counting on me. So if we remember back, Pony is actually a track star. He's on the track team. And so he's saying that he is too sick to go to track meets, and his coach was really counting on him. Golly, there's always next year, Soda said. Soda never has grasped the importance Derry and I put on athletics. Like he never understood why we went all out for studying. Don't sweat it about some track meet. Soda, I said suddenly. What all did I say while I was delirious? Oh, you thought you were in Windricksville most of the time. Then you kept saying that Johnny didn't mean to kill that sock. Hey, I didn't know you didn't like bologna. I went cold. I don't like it. I never liked it. Soda just looked at me. You used to eat it. That's why you wouldn't eat anything while you were sick. You kept saying you didn't like bologna. No matter what it was, we were trying to get you to eat. I don't like it, I repeated. Soda, did I ask for dairy while I was sick? Yeah, sure, he said, looking at me strangely. You asked for him and me both, sometimes Mom and Dad, and for Johnny. Oh, I thought maybe I didn't ask for dairy. It was bugging me. Soda grinned. Well, you did, so don't worry. We stayed with you so much that the doctor told us we were going to end up in the hospital ourselves if we didn't get some sleep. I'm highlighting this because it's important to remember. But we didn't get any anyways. I took a good look at him. He looked completely worn out. There were circles under his eyes, and he had a tense, tired look to him. Yet his dark eyes were still laughing and carefree and reckless. You look beat, I said frankly. I bet you ain't had 3 hours of sleep since Saturday night. He grinned, but didn't deny it. Scoot over. He crawled over and flopped down, and before Derry came back in with the soup, we were both asleep. And there is a picture of Pony Boy sleeping. So that is the end of the chapter. I hope you enjoyed it, and I want you to take your earphones off so we can complete the packet together. Oops. And remember to stay gold.